The following is not suitable for children under the age of 18. It contains coarse language, sexual references, as well as my own personal views and opinions. All characters of the show are fictional and are made for fun, not harm. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show, the worst show ever. Hit the music! Hello my masters and welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the absolute worst show ever. We're on episode 37 of the Sky Genie Show. We are over a week away to Wrestlemania, or if you're one of the lucky few, Pornomania. You know, I'd be happy to take on Alexa Bliss at Pornomania in a match, but, you know, Mrs. Genie would not approve of that one, but what she doesn't know won't hurt her. But you can see we're living in a PC era when photos leak of naked women and people are like, oh my god, I don't want to look at that. It's so horrible. Well, maybe it is to you, but not so much to me. I mean, hey, you can look at Xavier Woods and John Cena all you want. No judgment here. But the funny thing is, people are making a big deal between 2 or 3 adults doing adult things and experimenting life as we know it. Why, the Sky Genie himself has done stupid shit when he was younger. Who doesn't do stupid shit when they're young? And there's people that are outraged or probably jealous because they never got in a threesome themselves. Although, I would never want to get into a threesome with 2 dudes, but anyway. I also want to say, I want to expand on the show. I want to do more than just wrestling and get a musical element into this show as well. So I'm looking for struggling bands or artists who are out there who would like to come onto the show. Maybe help promote the show. And I can help promote you. You know, help the help. Always looking for advertisers, sponsors. Hell, I'm even looking for a co-host. That would help a lot. Because I'm currently back on work placement and my time is very limited. So if it continues to be increasingly difficult for me to get a show out on time, I'll possibly change today to a Saturday or a Sunday and do my Raw and Smackdown reviews then. Add a couple more shows and just do a weekly thing because it's a lot of time for me. Pay-per-view predictions and results will still happen will be a Monday for me, but few changes may have to be made. What I'm also planning to do is to go live. Starting sometime after Wrestlemania, I want to do a live show. Possibly have a few guests from other shows. Have fans call in and express their opinion on a Raw or a Smackdown or whatever the fuck. I may be starting to do an hour show on Mixlr. Of course, I want to do bits and skits and contests and everything else to expand and grow the show. And now for everyone's least favourite segment of the show. The show is sponsored by Cottage Chesse. What do old people and cottage cheese have in common? Think about it. No Ginny Jr. update today. Don't go away, because after the break, wrestling news. For fans of the show, please also check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Don Tony and Kevin Castle show is a hard-hitting, with brutal honesty type show, as they give their views on the world of professional wrestling and WWE. They're also on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch them live, listen to them on Mixlr. If you're looking for a very professional show to listen to the Solomonster Sounds Off. His show, smokes this one entirely, is a very informative show. Join Jason Solomon as he gives his thoughts on the current events of professional wrestling. Catch his show on Podbean, Stitcher or iTunes. Also check out Jason Solomon's YouTube page where he does extras for pay-per-view shows or interviews with wrestlers in the business. Jason has interviewed the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Hardcore Holly, the legendary Jim Ross, and even Booker T. Definitely a show worth checking out. For fans of the Sky Genie Show, please also make sure to check out Wrestling Soup. They drop at 9:30 on Thursday. Join hosts Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers as they light-heartedly talk about the world that's happening in professional wrestling as well as other current events. While over there, please make sure to check out the Saturday morning shitbox. Have your voice and question heard as Mish and Joey answer questions on their thoughts of professional wrestling or anything else going around in the world. That show drops on Saturday morning-ish. The weeks it doesn't air is because they're doing pay-per-view Sunday. Yes, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view, Mish and Joey usually review it, sometimes with John Draper. They also have shows on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch the boys live, check them out on Mixlr. And we are back, and now for the wrestling news. Jan Ross, Jim Ross's wife, suffered a fractured skull over the weekend and is on life support. Her condition is a critical condition, and chances are she won't make it. I find this to be really sad news, but at the same time, I've got to say this. I mean this in no disrespectful way to Jim Ross or his wife, but I was reading up that apparently laws in America with motorbikes, or I guess a moped of what she was riding around in, don't all require helmets. And I have to say, that's a pretty stupid fucking thing. Because here is proof of what is the result of what could happen if you don't wear a helmet. And she's almost dead. The poor woman is almost dead. I hope somebody sees this and uses this and puts a petition in to make everything require a helmet. Here in Australia, everything you ride besides a car, anything with a motor, you pretty much got to have a helmet for. So a motorbike, a bicycle, or a moped, or whatever the fuck that thing was. Here you are required to wear a helmet for everything. Otherwise you get fined pretty heavily. But in saying that, thoughts and prayers go out to Jim Ross, Jan Ross, and the rest of the family and friends. The Hall of Fame lineup is as followed. Kurt Angle, who is to be inducted by John Cena. The Rock and Roll Express, to be inducted by Jim Cornette. Big news. Teddy Long, to be inducted by the APA. DDP, to be inducted by Eric Bischoff. Rick Rude, to be inducted by Ricky Steamboat. And Beth Phoenix, to be inducted by Natalia. Eric LeGrand is the 2017 Warrior Award recipient. WWE has reportedly offered new contracts to the Hardy Boys. According to Pro Wrestling Sheet, the Hardy Boys are currently the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and have short-term deals with Ring of Honor. And that is the wrestling news. After the break, the wrestling reviews. Are you looking for a good laugh? Then check out Getting the Corner. Getting the Corner. Da Corner. Da Corner. With hosts Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. Check them out on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. For interesting discussion and debates on professional wrestling, check out Johnny Florida, Michael Corvin, and Old Man Jenkins on Wrestling's National Committee. They talk a wide range of topics on the world that is pro wrestling. Check them out on Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. And we are back, and now for the wrestling reviews. And here's my review of Monday Night Raw. Show opens up with Mick Foley to the ring to read a piece of paper where he thanks Triple H and Stephanie for his job. He then apologizes to them and announces that he is taking a hiatus. He cuts an angry Proto on being given index cards, but his mic gets cut off. Stephanie comes out and berates him and then fires him. Sami Zayn comes out for his defense, gets berated as well. Samoa Joe comes out, and Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe is made next. You know what's sad? The sad thing is, Mick Foley got the Raw end of the deal again, and that there will be no repercussions of that. Because, you know, Stephanie has to always win. But we had Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe in a really awesome match with the winner, Samoa Joe. After the break in a backstage segment, we see Foley saying goodbye to everyone on his way out. Last of which was Triple H, who mocks Mick Foley on the way out. They interview Seth's doctor. Then we get Charlotte versus Dana Brooke in a terrible match where Charlotte wins. There is a backstage segment with Bayley and Stephanie. Makes a match with Nia Jax. If Nia Jax wins, then she gets added to Wrestlemania, and it's no disqualification. Chris Jericho out for a highlight reel with the real Kevin Owens. He cuts a promo on Kevin Owens and runs down their relationship. Samoa Joe comes out. Then Kevin Owens attacks Chris Jericho from behind, leaves him beat down, picks up the list, and rips it up. And the fans just booed. It was fucking excellent. We have TJ No One Gives a Fuck versus Brian Kendrick in a meh. Brian Kendrick wins. After the match, he is looking for Akira Tozawa, and that he find out that he stole his passport. Now, I have two questions. If Akira Tozawa was stuck in Japan and couldn't get back because of his passport, how the fuck did he get out of the country in the first place? And two, Brian Kendrick pretty much admitted to theft on live TV. Bright guy. Get a backstage interview with Roman Reigns, video package of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Then we have Bayley versus Nia Jax in a good match, but here's me thinking Nia Jax is the winner, but why the hell did Charlotte and Sasha Banks not come out and cost Nia Jax the match if there was no disqualification? Or I think I said it wrong. It was Bayley versus Nia Jax. I mean, what dumb fucking logic. I agree with DT on that one. Triple H comes out for a ring interview with Michael Cole. Goes on and on about Seth Rollins being injured, how it's the fans' fault that he was injured. Triple H then challenges Seth Rollins to a non-sanctioned match at WrestleMania, and the contract signing will be next week on Raw. Funny thing is, I called this on Twitter an hour before it happened, and woohoo, I can book this shit. Although if I was booking this shit, I reckon it'd be a lot better than the shit they're putting on. But anyway. Then had a 4-on-2 handicap match, the Club, Kaz and Enzo, versus Sheamus and Cesaro. If Sheamus and Cesaro loses, they're out of the championship match. Well, it was a squash match because everyone got fighting with each other. Sheamus and Cesaro win, so they're still in the match at WrestleMania. We had a New Day segment, and it was so bad, it's a scandal. Oh, my bad. We then have Austin Aries versus Tony Nese in a great match where Austin Aries wins. After the match, Neville comes out. Aries cuts a promo on Neville. Go back and forth about their match at WrestleMania. I have to say something about Austin Aries, and he is a real breath of fresh air on Raw. His interviews, his matches, and everything about him has made something of Raw tolerable. in a lot of shit. Get another video package of Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and then we get a backstage interview with Braun Strowman. And then for the main event, we got Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in a really boring match. It ended in no contest when Undertaker appeared, chokeslammed Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns then speared the Undertaker. As Reigns leaves, Undertaker sits up, and the show goes off the air. Overall, it was a mixed show with good and bad, but a lot of illogical bullshit. And the main event really could have been missed. And after that match, and I don't know if it was Braun Strowman or if it was the fact of Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, if Roman Reigns can't carry a match, then getting into a match with The Undertaker, he's going to be really fucked. Because let's face it, Undertaker's injured with his hip. He's 50. He's not going to be as agile as he used to be. And I really hope that this is his last year at WrestleMania because, dude, time to hang it up. I love The Undertaker. I'm a fan of The Undertaker, but you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. The Gambler, Kenny Rogers. And that is the Raw review. And now for the Smackdown review. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are backstage in a segment to start the show, just like last week, and AJ Styles then makes his way to the ring to cut a promo on Shane. Pretty much doing the same thing as last week. But it's still pretty good that they're focusing the Smackdown show pretty much on AJ Styles for the most part. There is a backstage segment with Daniel Bryan and Baron Corbin, and then we get for the Smackdown Tag Team Championship, American Alpha versus the Usos. After a very exciting match, your winner and new tag team champions, the Usos. I hope we get a rematch for WrestleMania. Luke Harper cuts a promo staring at a light. We get a very funny segment, first of two, Total Bella Spruce with The Miz and Maurice. And it was to be continued. They were fucking awesome. We then get Baron Corbin versus Randy Orton. After a great match and a distraction by Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton wins. After the match, Dean Ambrose accepts Baron Corbin's challenge for the IC title. At WrestleMania, we get a backstage interview with Randy Orton. Then some freaky dicky wacky shit happens with the lights, and Bray Wyatt is surrounded by people in sheep masks. Bray puts a cross on Randy Orton, cuts a promo on him where Bray starts singing. And then we had John Cena versus Fandango, who gave him all these fashion tickets. Tyler Breeze was with him dressed as Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella comes out. John Cena wins in a really stupid squash match. But here's me thinking, wouldn't the fact that Nikki got in the ring, whether she attacked Fandango or not, she'd put Tyler Breeze in an STF and an FU, wouldn't that technically be a disqualification? Oh, that's right. WWE logic. Gee, if I had a drink for every time I could say WWE logic between Raw and SmackDown, I would die of alcohol poisoning. Then had Becky Lynch versus Carmella. After a stupid, pointless match, Carmella gets the win via DQ, and it became a brawl. Next, we get part 2 of the Total Bella spoof with Miz and Maurice. I bet if they do these skits next week as well, Miz and Maurice are going to get the biggest babyface reaction at WrestleMania. I see it. I see it happening. I hope Cena and Nikki get booed out of the building. We get a backstage interview with AJ Styles, who is waiting for Shane, Slater and Rhino appear. Now, isn't there a fine when wrestlers are late? WWE logic. There's that alcohol poisoning again. Shane McMahon makes his way to the ring to cut a promo on AJ Styles. AJ Styles, who is sitting in the background, is told that, hey, Shane McMahon is in the ring looking for you. Then we get a shot of AJ Styles walking to the ring from the arena. AJ comes out, tries to apologize to Shane, steps into the ring, and Shane attacks with shitty punches. They brawl and brawl until AJ hits a suplex. Then Shane hits a suplex. Shane puts AJ onto the announcer's table, goes to the top rope of the ring, and dives off, and elbow drops him through the announce table. He gets up and celebrates as SmackDown ends. Overall, the first half of the show was really awesome. Then we got to the second, and it was really, really weird. Besides the last segment, really fucking weird. And that is the SmackDown review. And that'll be all for this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Check us out on skygenieshow.weebly.com, on our Facebook page, the Sky Genie Show page, or on Twitter it's SDD916. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you later.